I started using when I was 12 or 13 years old. I always felt alone, and the drugs helped me feel like I could escape reality. I realized I had a problem in my late 20s when the same stuff kept happening to me over and over again. I thought I was a drug addict. I knew I was a drug addict, but I thought it was cool. I was gonna be a drug addict, rock star, and live till I was 30 and live hard. One day, we were sitting around adding up money-wise. Figured I've spent over $1 million on drugs. And that's not the half of it. It cost me a marriage. It cost me my children's teenage years. It cost me the respect of my parents, my grandparents. At the time that I decided I had enough, I had absolutely nothing left anywhere. I went to a 12-step program. And at that point in my life, because I had always said, I'm not hurting anybody but myself, and I can quit anytime I want. Until the day came when I tried to quit and couldn't, and panic pretty much set in. So I went to the meetings. And the meetings introduced me to a bunch of new habits. Basically, I heard, show up for your own life. Take it one day at a time. We were way worse than you, and we're surviving, so you can too. They gave me hope. I was hopeless. I couldn't stay clean. I would get 2 weeks and then relapse. I'd get 6 weeks and relapse. And my sponsor said to me, you know it's not relapsing unless you stop using. Stop fooling yourself. Because to get clean takes some honesty. And I can't speak for other addicts, but for me, I had none. I didn't know what honesty was, constantly lying to myself. I really had no shot until I really surrendered and said, the day it happened for me is I just dropped to my knees in tears and said, God, if you're really there, please help me. And my brother-in-law came to me and said, there's a pastor in Shrewsbury that you will relate to. And nothing else had ever worked for me. He says, and we know how you're crazy about music. They sing it at that church. There's all kinds of things going on out there. And the grand opening of the church was coming. This had to be 12, 13 years ago. And so I said, that's not for me. And I didn't go. And I struggled some more. And he said to me again, you gotta come check this place out. And at that point, I had managed to stay clean for almost a year, going to the meetings. But they kept saying all the time, get a higher power, get a higher power, get a higher power. Pick one, create your own higher power. And I kept thinking, if I can create this higher power, I'm more powerful. I need to go find the higher power that created me. I don't know where to look, but they keep telling me, go to this church and maybe you'll find it. So that's what I did. I walked in. It's kind of funny because I'm one of those recovering Catholics. And first thing I was like, where's all the kneeling down and standing up and sign of the cross and where's all this stuff? And there was none of that. And it was singing. I looked on the stage, there was 2 or 3 guitar players, drummers. I'm like, what kind of church is this? If church was like this when I was a kid, I might still be going. And I sat there and my mind was going a million miles an hour. And Pastor Mary sang, my God is a mighty God. And I just could not stop crying. And I said, that's the God I need. And I've been coming ever since. Not always, I've taken a few sabbaticals, but every time I get away, my life gets worse. So I've learned that the closer I stay to my church and my God, and I consider the Dream Center and the Liberty Church my family. And the closer I stay to that, the better my life goes. I'm Bruce LaPierre. I've got 10 years clean, and I believe it's a new day.